I just had a quick look at your question number 1, the slug, and how you're having an error there. So if I look at rake routes, I'll explain what I think is happening here. So you've created a actually, starting with the config routes, organizations config routes. There you've created front-end routes for organizations. The path is nothing, blank, and the resources path is blank. So therefore, the that's how you got the organization to show up under the root of the site. So, whoops, Elijah. So under, like, I've created a slug Indo, and now /Indo actually works for that organization. So that's all good. And now how this shows up in the routes, if you run rake routes, you will see a slash. So the root is going to organization's index, and /ID, so the ID would be the slug here, is going to organization's show. And the problem here is when you are trying to go to /blog, that's getting picked up as, oh, blog, blog is actually, it looks like an ID, so it's trying to find the slug blog. So one way to fix this that I think is going to work is just to move the this route down below the blog and below everything, so that it tries to find, if you are viewing Indo, for example, it will go and search through in this order, and it will find, does Indo match blog? No, so it'll continue on, and it'll say, does Indo match pages? No, continue on, and it'll keep going down until we find the correct route at the bottom. But if this one is at the top, then it finds blog in there, and it matches this one first, because basically anything will match this ID, and it'll try to look up that ID for the organization. So let's go ahead and change that. So we need to, instead of drawing these routes, we can append. I just looked this up. So you can do a routes append, which will then, if we run rake routes again, instead of showing up right up here where it is, you see it'll match blog first, and you continue down, and you'll get the root of the site if you want to go to the home. So we'll get the real home page there, and then down here it will then fall back to match the organization's ID. Now, the issue that I ran into next with this was you actually run into, if we restart our Rails server, what you get is this wasn't actually working before. So what happened the first time I did this was this marketable page was coming up as instead of going to my organization, it was coming to this marketable page. So if necessary, we can remove that marketable page in the pages config initializers refinery pages, has a marketable URL. So I don't think we'll be needing this marketable URL, so we can set that to false. And what that does is removes the marketable page route. So all we have is the organization's get. Because this route here, marketable page, was actually it's a star path, which is matching on everything, similar to how ID is. So we're just not going to want to use that, and instead all of our pages, like I just made this page, the pages will show up as /pages, and then the slug for the page, instead of just being like this, just straight on the root. So we don't need those for this. It's more important that we have the the slug for the organization show up. And here we have the organization address and about us. So hopefully that helps with that issue.